Alright, good evening ladies. Welcome to Compound Interesting. Imagine the year is 1999 and you could go and buy or register any domain name you wanted. For example, voice.com, for example, michael.com, for example, sex.com, for example, tesla.com. Well, potentially you have that opportunity again, except instead of with .com domains, you have it with .eth domains. So some of those .com domains that I listed sold for 30 million, 14 million, 11 million. So potentially we're going to discuss in today's video what Ethereum domains are, all the use cases for Ethereum domains as opposed to .com domains. FYI, there's a lot more with Ethereum domains than .com domains, and how potentially long term you could make crazy returns by investing in Ethereum domains now during the bear market, something I'm getting really interested in and trying to learn a lot about. So I'm going to share my findings with you today, and first of all, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll explain exactly all the different use cases for an Ethereum domain and basically what it is. Okay, so what is a .com domain? For example, Amazon.com. When I type in Amazon.com, it brings me to the Amazon.com website. But Amazon.com is actually just a long string of letters, and that would be really awkward and annoying to have to type in. So you can buy the domain name service, the name DNS, and that's essentially what the DNS server allows you to do. Instead of having to type out a really long set of characters, you can just type in Amazon.com. It's the exact same idea with Ethereum domains. Instead of me saying, oh, just send it to my wallet, it's XYZ and 34 more characters, just send it to compoundinteresting.ethereum. You can send anything over the Ethereum, any Ethereum asset over the Ethereum blockchain. So like probably 3/4 of cryptocurrencies, all the crypto coins are on Ethereum, and of course loads of NFTs. So you can just send it to sam.eth, you can send it to tesla.eth, whatever your Ethereum domain name is. And there's only one of each domain, so there's only one sam.eth, which recently sold for 100,000. All right, so now let's get into further use cases for Ethereum domains. And the next one is kind of a username. So it's your online identity. So people spend a lot of money on usernames. For example, on Instagram, whoever owns, I don't know, beauty, the Instagram handle beauty, like that's probably worth a lot of money if you could sell that Instagram handle. Or I don't know, magical moments or whatever, Sam, the Instagram handle Sam, that's probably worth a lot of money. Someone would pay a lot of money for that. So that's kind of the same idea with Ethereum domains. Not only is it your wallet, but it's also your online identity. So it's your online identity, and obviously if it's your own first name, so my name's Emil, so if I had Emil.eth, that would be a bit of a flex because, you know, there's only one Emil.eth and only one Emil in the entire world can own that one. Or sam.eth, that's why someone is willing to spend a lot of money on that. Represents your personal identity, so your Twitter handle, like a lot of people have been using that. They're using their Ethereum domains as their Twitter handle. So my Twitter name might be compoundinteresting.eth, so everyone knows, okay, I can check out his wallet, see what he has in there. Or if I want to tip him or whatever, don't tip me, I'm fine, don't worry. But for example, if I wanted to send my friend an NFT, I know what his wallet is, I can just type that in easily, send him NFTs, send him tokens, and it's also his identity. So it's only one thing you have to remember, just his name.ethereum or her name. Another use case is subdomains. Now, I won't go too deep into this, but you could have, say, I would like to own Emil.eth, but I don't. But say I owned Emil.eth, I could own pay.emil.eth, I could own whatever.emil.eth, and they could be different wallets that have different functions. So and you can also sell them separately. So say your second name was McDonald. If I owned McDonald.eth, I could sell John McDonald.eth. I could sell David McDonald.eth. I hope you know where I'm going with that. All right, so there's a couple more quick uses for Ethereum name service that I want to go through, and then I want to kind of I want to explain my thoughts on how you can actually profit from this and what my strategies are. Not an expert in this whatsoever, but want to share what I'm thinking in regards to buying Ethereum domains, what I think potentially will be valuable in the future. Now, the next use case is you're going to be able to create decentralized websites. I don't really know what that means, but it means it's immutable. No one can take down your website, or you can just take your website to a different server, that kind of thing. I won't go too deep into that. But also, you don't have to create a decentralized website. You can just have your .eth linking to a normal Web2 website. So if you type in, I think it's vitalik.eth.link or something like that, it will bring you to Vitalik's website. Another use case is kind of like using your .eth domain as your email address, because you can actually communicate over the blockchain. You can actually communicate over Ethereum. So I don't know who owns, I don't know the person personally, whoever owns laptop.eth, but I want to contact them. I can send them a message over the Ethereum blockchain, and they'll receive that message. That laptop.eth, whoever that is, will receive that message, like, oh, hey buddy, I noticed this cool NFT in your wallet. I'd like to buy it if you're interested in selling. Yeah, great, or whatever. Or I want to buy laptop.eth off you. So potentially it could be a future kind of email address. And the final use case for Ethereum domains, which I think is one of the more interesting ones, is being able to log in with your Ethereum name. So like I was kind of explaining, .eth is your username. So, and then you have your private password, your secret recovery phrase that you don't want to lose. But you can log in with Ethereum, kind of like you log in with MetaMask if you use MetaMask, or you log into Facebook like you use Facebook or whatever. But if you're logging in with your .eth domain, so say you have a nice easy domain name, you have, I don't know, Emil.eth, I'll just keep using that example, you'll be able to log into all your decentralized apps, all your dApps that are on the Ethereum blockchain with that. And if you're bullish on Ethereum and you think that's like there's gonna be a lot of interesting and useful things built on the Ethereum blockchain in the future, which I do, so then it would be nice to be able to have a nice easy username that you can log in with for all those different decentralized apps, and potentially other apps as well in the future, if you just have .eth, which I think will be the reigning supreme Web3 username / domain. All right, so now my thoughts on what I'm buying. I'm not going to recommend what you should buy, obviously not financial advice. And just to mention, like, Ethereum domains are very illiquid. Like, you're not going to be able to find a buyer very, like, within a few hours for Michael Stroman.eth, or I don't know, any whatever name you can think of, or just like in the way it probably takes a while to be able to sell blacksock.com, or I don't know, whatever business idea name that you've come up with. It'll probably take years to be able to sell. So we've already seen like the likes of Gucci, the likes of Tiger Beer.eth, that's owned by Budweiser. I don't know how much they pay for it, but yeah, the first idea is kind of brand names. So brands that kind of want to get into the Web3 space, like Gucci and Budweiser, which have kind of dipped their toes into NFTs and this kind of space. If you think this space is going to grow, and one of the best ways to market in the future potentially will be to be releasing NFTs or be involved in technology, these companies will want their Ethereum domains. And with Web2, like if you owned a .com domain, it was very difficult to sell it sometimes because there's loads of copyright laws. So sometimes the domain name could kind of get taken from you without your permission, or you'd be kind of forced to sell it if you didn't want to sell it. But with Ethereum domains, if you're anonymous and you own like a really valuable, if you own Tesla.eth or something like that, you don't even have to sell it if you don't want to, unless they know who you are and they come to your house and force you or something. But yeah, they can't take it away from you if it's locked up in your wallet, basically. So what I'm kind of thinking is brands that you have an idea, or if you kind of hear some whispers that potentially they're going to be getting involved in Ethereum space at all, or in NFTs or in technology, you think they might come down the road and get involved in that, you could buy their Ethereum domain name ahead of that and hopefully get a sale that way, or from someone speculating that they'll want it in the future as well. Other things that I've been looking at are business personalities that I think might eventually get into crypto or get into the Web3 space. So I bought one of my favorite YouTubers at the moment, Alex Hormozy. I bought his alexhormozy.eth and his wife's leilahormozy.eth. And maybe they get into crypto in the future, maybe they don't. I actually didn't buy it. I registered them for free, and that could be completely stupid. He'd probably never get involved in crypto, but it was only like, $20 or $40 to register that. So I think first names, particularly well-known names. Now, obviously, they're going to be very expensive at the moment, so yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, but potentially you could buy a kind of more obscure name, but not too obscure. Like I think there's a lot of people who are buying Ethereum names that are completely like not going to be worth anything in the future. So I think the better play, rather than buying like loads of really obscure names or really obscure like 4-digit different letters like XDFT.ETH, like I don't think anyone's going to really want that in the future. I think it'd be better to put all your money into something that's actually going to be used or wanted in the future. So I've been looking at buying first names, surnames, businesses, business personalities, YouTubers, their names. Another thing that's going crazy at the moment is numbers. So people are buying 123.com, 546.com. They're worth a lot of money right now because numbers are more scarce than letters. I think that's a bit stupid. I don't think anyone really cares who owns 732.com, for example. Like I don't think anyone's probably even registered it. So numbers, like people are going crazy for them. Maybe they'll be good in the future, but I haven't been too interested in them. But I did kind of play off the hype and bought Arabic numbers. So I bought 4-digit Arabic numbers and they pumped, and I made a small little profit off that. And then the other numbers that I bought are emoji numbers. So I bought like 4-digit emoji numbers. So instead of the actual character numbers, I bought emoji numbers, and some of them have sold, but not all of them. So I'm just kind of playing off the hype there, but I don't think that's really a long-term play, but I'm more interested in buying brands. I also bought a popular beer that I like in Ireland, Hop House. I bought Hop House and Hop House 13.ETH. Maybe in the future they'll want their Ethereum domain if they dive into the Web3 space, or a speculator like myself will want to speculate that they'll buy the NFT in the future. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye for good first names, good surnames. I think surnames could be even better because what I mentioned with the subdomain thing, like if I own Smith, I can sell john.smith.eth. So first names, surnames, brand names, and yeah, that's kind of what I'd be most interested in personally for the long term. I don't think I'll be able to sell these quickly, and I'm just going to be slowly keeping an eye on them over the next year or two, and there'll probably be a lot of good opportunities to buy cheap brands and cheap names over the next couple of years. And then when Ethereum comes back and everyone's risk on again, maybe you'll be able to sell them then, or they'll be worth a fortune then. That's the idea. I really hope you enjoyed that video. I really appreciate if you could let me know your thoughts on Ethereum name service, what you've been looking at yourself. If you liked it, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.